أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وضرب الله مثلا الرجلين أحدهما أبكم لا يقدر على شيء وهو كل على مولاه أينما يوجهه لا يأتي بخير هل يستوي هو ومن يأمر بالعدل وهو على صراط مستقيم. And Allah presents a parable of two men. One of them is dumb and powerless to do a thing, while he is a burden on his master. Wherever he directs him to, he brings no good. Is he equal to one who commands justice while he himself is upon a straight path? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما ينبغي لجلال وجهه وعظيم سلطانه والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكملان على خير خلق الله أجمعين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Parables in the Quran. In our last episode, we mentioned the parable that Allah gives in Surah An-Nahl of the powerless nature of false gods. That was verse 75 of Surah An-Nahl. Right after that, the very next ayah, verse number 76, Allah gives us another parable of the same thing, of the powerless nature of these false gods that people worship. And so here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions a man who is abkam. Abkam translates to dumb. What that means is someone who doesn't have the ability to speak. So Allah mentions here you have a man who cannot speak. He is speechless. And wherever he goes, he is a burden on his master. So that means that this man is a slave. He is owned by a master. Now, he sends him off and he doesn't bring any good. So this example Allah gives is that of these false idols. And then Allah mentions another man who he goes around commanding justice, meaning that he's able to speak. Wherever he goes, he commands justice and he is upon a straight path. That is the one true God. Right? So that is the example of the one true God. And so here you have idols made of stone and rock, speechless, powerless. Allah compares it to a person, a man who can neither think nor speak on his own. He cannot understand, nor is he understood by people because he can't speak. On top of that, he is powerless to do anything. لا يقدر على شيء. He can't do anything. Wherever you send him, he brings no good. He doesn't fulfill your needs. So you own a slave of this nature. What use is such a slave? Wherever you send him, he doesn't bring you any benefit. In fact, instead of you depending on him, he depends on you. And you are the one who is taking care of his needs. So such a person is deficient from so many different perspectives, from so many different angles. Likewise, these idols of yours, these so-called gods, they cannot speak, nor can they make decisions on their own. They cannot help you. They cannot understand anything that you are telling them. And they are powerless to do anything for you. If you're making a request from them, you're asking them to fulfill your needs, how are they going to be able to fulfill your needs for you when they cannot hear you to begin with? And even if they had the ability to hear you, they are powerless. On top of that, instead of them helping you, you are the ones who are helping them, maintaining them, taking care of their needs, first by creating them, carving them out of stone and rock, and then by taking care of them, decorating them, serving them, and so on and so forth. So they are deficient from so many different angles. As for the one true God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is Al-Hayy. He is the all-living. He is Al-Qadir, Al-Qadir. He is the all-powerful. And He is also the one who speaks how and when He wishes. And He commands justice, while also being upon a straight path, as Allah mentions here, which means that He doesn't say anything except the truth. He doesn't command anything except justice. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't do anything except that which is praiseworthy. And this is the only one who deserves our worship. The one who has attributes of perfection with no attributes of imperfection, He is the only one who deserves our worship and our service and our devotion. Not these false gods who are imperfect in every sense. And so this is the parable that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives us here, teaching us that just like there is no similarity between one who cannot speak nor understand a thing and one who can speak perfectly clearly, and when he does, he only commands what is right and he commands justice. Likewise, there is no similarity between the one true God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all of these other false gods and false deities in terms of uluhiyya, in terms of them deserving worship. And so what Allah is trying to tell us here is that Allah alone deserves worship. Why? Because of who He is, because of the attributes of perfection that He possesses. He has attributes of perfection that make Him suitable and deserving of being worshipped alone. The all-living, the all-powerful, the one who speaks, the one who commands justice. These are only some of the many sifat, some of the many attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We also learn from this parable that those who worship idols and take care of them and maintain them, they fit this description that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us in this parable. Look at how, they go out of their way to create the idols in the first place, and then to decorate them, and then to protect them. But wherever He takes His idols, right, if He was to take them anywhere, they are speechless. They bring no good for those who worship them. And this reminds us of a story with Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu. Umar radiyallahu anhu, during his khilafah, many years after the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was seen crying and then laughing. So he was asked, what's up? Why were you crying and then you were laughing? He said, I was remembering my days before Islam. Before Allah blessed me with Islam, in the days of Jahiliyyah, I used to make an idol. Basically, when I wanted to travel, I couldn't take the big idols with me. So I decided I would make an idol out of dates, because, it is dates that they would take as their food to travel with. He doesn't have an idol that he can take with him, so he decided to mold out of dates an idol for himself that he would, worship along the way, and that would protect him along the way. And so that's why he was crying, remembering how foolish he was, right? And remembering his state of kufr. That's why he was crying. He says, and then on my journey, I became hungry. So I looked at my idol and I couldn't control myself, and I ate my own idol that I had made with my own hands. And he said, that's why I was laughing. And so what this teaches us is that those who worship false gods and idols that they have created themselves, they are foolish people, and Here in this parable, Allah is trying to knock some sense into such people. Wake up, use your minds, use these intellects that Allah has gifted you with, and understand that your worship of false gods does not make any sense whatsoever, but rather worshiping Allah alone, that is what makes complete sense. And so, with that, we come to the end of this episode, and we will see you once again on another episode of Parables in the Quran. Until then, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصل اللهم وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.